How is everyone? I'm doing great, thank you. Any questions?
Wes, how impressive was it to see Ty go in the game cold and go for 7, 5, and 25 on his first 3 snaps?
Ty Chandler? Well, it was nothing unexpected from Ty. Really kind of like the 1-2 punch we've got going with Aaron and Ty. They have some similar skill sets, but also there's a difference in kind of how each one hits the hole, and I think they bring a little something different to the defense. I don't know if I can even pinpoint it exactly, but you saw, I think you see Ty's explosiveness and burst show up when he gets the edge on the long run. Even last week or 2 weeks ago now, on the catch he had backed up where, shooting out of the backfield, kind of that explosiveness, that speed, I think you see show up on those types of plays. And I thought Ty finished really physically really strong last week, and it showed up yards after contact, kind of getting a little more than we thought down the red zone, one-on-one with a corner and kind of bulls his way to get the first down. Some really good finishes by Ty last week.
Wes, well, K.O. talked about this on Sunday. He said there had to be some self-talk before he calls that deep shot, basically from your own end zone. What was the discussion like about when that call comes through and calling in that situation?
When the call comes through, I mean, we're all behind it. We felt like it was going to be a big play going in, just from wherever it was called. I don't know that any of us expected to have it called, from the 3-yard line. But once it comes in, it's kind of like, hey, here we go, and kind of got the look we were expecting. And obviously, those two made an incredible play. There was a lot of great plays individually on that play. Some strain by Brian O'Neill to push Bosa around the edge. Some strain by Garrett Bradbury as Warner's coming through the A-gap. And Aaron Jones getting a chip on the 3 technique, trying to work back inside. If he doesn't do that, Sam isn't able to step up. The tight ends blocking the other edge and being ready for kind of a man coverage trigger by the DBs. There was a lot of really good examples of execution and guys just really fighting and straining, and really one of the more memorable plays of my career. I've been doing this a little while now, and I don't remember all the plays like Kevin and Sean McVay. I don't remember every single play, but I remember those types of plays, and that one will stick with me for a while.
Why were you guys so confident in that play call?
Just coverage-wise, just the formation, the alignment. If we got the look, they don't play that every time, but we kind of hit them on a similar play last year where we hit KJ Osborne going across the field, and kind of changed it up a little bit from the play last year, if you end up looking at it, and just thought, if the post safety, they kind of end up having a double team in and out on JJ on that play, but felt like if he kind of stuttered his feet at all, that we'd have a chance to get over the top, and Sam saw it and just delivered a dime 55 yards down the field, so it was impressive.
JJ's route, the one that Addison ran in that first game, was that the one you guys changed?
Yeah, it was slightly different. If you know it was Addison, so you know what I'm talking about. Slightly different, just in that instead of just kind of crossing the field, he leaned back out and then got over the top. So really, I think we had either one of them for a big gain, but I'm glad he threw it to Justin.
Who was faster, Justin or the official?
The official's getting a lot of publicity, and it's all warranted. Really impressive. Not only the speed, but kind of the flipping of the hips as he's getting towards the end zone. He cuts back, crosses field, then flips the hips going full speed. A lot of guys would have had to kind of go over the other shoulder there and lose the play for a second or two. But yeah, impressive by him. Is he a former player? I don't know a lot about him.
College running back.
College running back. Yeah, I'm not surprised. But so a lot of impressive things happen on that play.
What impressed you most about Sam's the final drive and Sam's execution on some of those third downs?
Yeah, you hear coaches talk about kind of no flinch, no blink. I mean, there was a confidence about the way he dropped, stick his back foot in the ground. I mean, a lot of people have recognized the throw to Speedy Jalen Naylor, kind of against the two deep, the anticipation. But I mean, just the confidence that he went out. We had Brandon Powell had a couple of big third down conversions on that drive. But you just saw some ownership of the plan, the confidence to just hit the back foot, take a hitch, and rip it. That's what I was most impressed with, and just across the board to take off, almost 7 minutes and get up 2 scores at the end there, and essentially, pretty close to putting them away at that point. Just really pleased with the execution by everyone. But Sam, you could just see just an ownership in what we were trying to do, including third down conversions. Just there were some more standard plays. There were, some situational football in there, and just the way he handled that whole situation was really good.
When it came to teaching Sam the offense, I'm sure that process was different than Kirk, who had learned it and then knew it going into last year. I guess, was there a point where you guys felt like he was starting to get confident with it and captured it in training camp? Because it seems like the execution has been very good for the first 2 weeks.
Well, I think it's a continuing process still. I mean, I think Sam would tell you that there's still growth, involved in this whole learning an offense and all the details and all the things that come up. But I do think going through a true game week 1, and then you do get a sense. We try to kind of recreate a game week in preseason, but it's not really the same. And so I just felt like there was more of a comfort level with him throughout the week of, okay, here's the process, here's how we do everything as far as installs, the practice format, when we rep this, when we do blitz pickups. There was just going into week 2, and I think you saw kind of just operationally getting in and out. It helps to be at home, certainly, but kind of in and out, getting the plays called, guys getting lined up. We weren't up against the play clock. A lot of those things that we noticed that were much improved.
Wes, do you think Ty is becoming a better version of himself because he has a player of Aaron's caliber to learn from?
I definitely think, Aaron is as hard a worker, as good a person, as talented a back as you're going to have, as a guy to kind of look up to. And Ty, I think, was on that path already. But when you get a guy who's done it and done it at a high level for as long as Aaron has, he's played a lot of football. He's a really good football player. He's got a lot of insight into the position, and he's willing to share all those things, and he does with Ty. And I think it just helps Ty that much more in his development. And we feel really confident whichever back's in the game.
When you look at the pressures the Texans get, probably all the time, certainly in that Bears game, what's the challenge of trying to build a protection plan against, Anderson and Hunter and the rest of the guys they have?
Well, it's Bosa's pretty good too. So I mean, it's we think a lot about that stuff when you're talking pass game. Everything really starts with the protection, and then it goes to the lens of the quarterback. So. There were a lot of different ways that we were trying to help last week, particularly at Bosa. Sometimes he'd flip sides on you. flip sides at the very beginning of the game, first drive. They actually dropped him on the second play of the game, which the more you want to drop him, the better. But yeah, it's a challenge each week in this league, and where are the tough matchups? How can we? Because all the plays that we design and draw up and all that stuff, it doesn't mean anything if we can't stick our foot in the ground and have a click to read it out or make the throw. So it's a challenge with these guys. Daniil coming back, we know Daniil very well, and he knows us. And it'll be interesting to see some of those individual matchups. Him and Brian O'Neill, who've gone against each other so much, or CD. It'll be interesting to see kind of those little game within the game with those guys. But I will say, the times that we weren't able to always help with Bosa, I thought those guys did a great job.
Is it nice not having to play a guy like Fred Warner every week?
Yeah, and anytime I can not play Fred Warner is a good thing. When I was in the NFC West, it was Fred Warner and it was Bobby Wagner were four of our games, and you're talking about two surefire Hall of Fame players. I don't think anyone would argue with that. So we just felt like every division game we had, we just had this presence that it felt like they were playing with 12 on the field when you have a guy like that inside. Just not only athleticism, instincts, smarts, toughness, and the length of Warner just shows up throughout, and obviously with the turnovers, and just really a game changer.
Is the first and final coaching point on the running back pass, don't force it if it's not there, like the one to Chandler?
Absolutely. I thought Ty made a great decision. Johnny Mundt kind of got grabbed, and it's hard for refs, I think, to sometimes recognize that's a pass and you can't grab them like that down the field, and so I understand that. But we kind of talk to those guys when we're putting the ball in your hands like this. We're trusting you to make a good decision. We didn't try to bring the X backside to the party or anything. Didn't want anything crazy thrown across his body or anything. So we trusted him to actually call the play, and he kind of rewarded us with making a really good decision there.
Was early in the game, the 13-yard loss, what the heck happened on that one there?
Yeah, we had a couple of motions at once, which is not legal. Really we got to be better with when you're changing plays or canning plays based on looks, and just kind of understanding who we're setting in motion. We're trying to get the guy set in motion, and then the other guy thinks, hey, am I supposed to motion here? And he keeps giving his foot and then starts waving over, and then at that point, kind of tough on Sam at that point. Got someone in his face thinking he's supposed to get it to Aaron, and just kind of a foobar situation there that we have to avoid. We got to get better there.
When it comes to Blake Brandle, how do you feel like he's impacted the run game for teams?
His size shows up. Just having a large man inside certainly shows up. But technique-wise, I think he's been really, really good doing the things that we're asking him to do, and he's got length. He uses his length. I mean, there's times where guys kind of get on an edge, and he's able to extend and kind of keep running his feet and finish and just widen the hole that much more. Been really pleased with Blake. Apparently, PFF likes Blake too, but we don't look at those grades. I just happen to see things here or there. But yeah, Blake's doing a great job. We felt like he would, and He had a great offseason, great camp, and he's really just doing what we expected him to do at this point. All right, thanks.